Good morning, beloved of God. Right where you are at this moment, the light of Spirit shines through you. Infinitely loved by God, you are the light of the world. I am Linda, and I welcome you to Unity Spiritual Center of Waco this morning. And if you haven't done so, please turn off cell phones. Please stand as you're able and join in our congregational singing.
Spirit Love cannot be added to me. I am made complete in the divine. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. There's magic in every day, like a beautiful song. As I'm choosing my way, there's a voice inside to guide me along. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led. Everywhere and always I am spirit-led.
All right. Thank you. Very nice. Let us say together our statement of truth, which is on the screen. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good omnipotent. We are a beacon of love and light for those who need this spiritual home right now. Let us say together our vision, mission, and our core value for today. Our vision: to awaken an awareness of spirit in our lives through modern application of ancient wisdom. Our mission: raise consciousness, transform lives, heal the planet, one person at a time, beginning with me. And our core value for today: spiritual principles. We uplift all people in their spiritual growth as we apply the principles taught by Jesus the Christ and embrace the universal truths of other faith traditions. And Penny will do the daily word.
Is this good? Okay. The daily word for today, May 29th, is comfort. If the sadness of loss diminishes my joy as I think of happy experiences with the loved ones who are no longer with me, I remember that the love we shared will bind us together always. Love can never die. Love, the most beautiful attribute of God, is present always and everywhere. I am comforted as my heart opens to the divine love within me, knowing that this same love enfolds all of those I hold dear, no matter where they are on the eternal journey of life. Peace and strength grow in my awareness as I open myself to love's expression. I bless everyone who comes to mind today with a loving thought. I speak a loving word or perform a simple act of kindness whenever I can. As I bring comfort to others, I am comforted also. And from Psalms 119, verse 76, let your steadfast love become my comfort according to your promise to your servant. And our affirmation for today, which I'll say, and then we'll say together. See, I remembered it. Yay. The love in my heart is my comfort. The love in my heart is my comfort.
Thank you, Penny. This is the time in our service when we have an opportunity to come together to just share, to shake hands, say hi or hug, whatever your preference is. So let's do that now.
I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. And every day I affirm and pray that I'm blessed with everything I have. I release my fear, 'cause it's all so clear. I am held, I am loved, I am safe. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I am well, I am well. And now I see what my life can be when I trust in the process and have faith. And now I know when I just let go that I have all I'll ever need. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I am well, I am well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, I am well, all is well, I am well.
Thank you, Lucinda. As we start our service today, first I'd like to thank everybody who's with us out there through the ethers and joining us. We appreciate you and we welcome you. Today's also the day before Memorial Day, and I'd like to say something, a thanks and gratitude to the people who have given in service to this country, our veterans, and not only our veterans, but all who serve in some capacity, whether it's healthcare fields or just helping our community to be a better place. And John in 13, or actually 15:13, said, "No one has greater love than this, than to lay down one's life for friends." So let's, for this holiday, be grateful for the people who just step out of the ordinary and do help, and especially our veterans. Thank you. So good morning, beloved of God. Right where you are at this moment, the light of Spirit shines. I'm in the wrong place, ain't I? Let's do that again. Good morning. I'm Reverend Don, and I welcome each of you to Unity Spiritual Center today. Together we affirm and celebrate our unity, our oneness with each other, our oneness with all it is, and our oneness in God. Your presence is essential. For each of us is a unique aspect of the energy that is Unity Spiritual Center of Waco right now, right here. And we know that none of us is here by accident or coincidence. Unity is a New Thought denomination, yet New Thought is nothing new to the world. It is, in reality, a synthesis of the greatest concepts of the minds throughout the ages. The laws of Moses, the Spirit of Christ, or actually, let me do that again. The laws of Moses, the love of Christ, the ethics of Buddha, the morals of Confucius, the 5 pillars of Islam, and the great deep spiritual realization of the Hindus all find an exalted place in the energy and philosophy that is unity. In unity, we believe that all people are created with sacred worth, regardless of culture, ethnicity, lifestyle, sexual orientation, and we know that neither God nor unity leaves anyone out. So as we open our service today, let's begin in prayer. So please join me. Infinite presence, loving Spirit, we open our hearts, we open our minds, and allow your presence to flow through us, to express through us. As we come together in this special time, this holiday, to celebrate people who have given for us, we realize that we all have something to give, something to share. And by doing so, we raise up our lives as well as those around us. So as we come together today, we do that. We open ourselves to the presence of God, of Spirit. We open ourselves to not only realize this for ourselves, but to open ourselves to share this presence, to share your presence. For in sharing is how we grow. Not only do we share that presence, but as we open our eyes and we look around us, we see the beauty that is God in all of our world. It's by seeing that positive light, that positive energy, that we make a difference. And for this we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. When the disciples asked, how should we pray? Jesus gave them the Lord's Prayer, which we say together now is translated from the Aramaic, the language that Jesus spoke, which is on the screen. So together, infinite presence, which is everywhere. Your name is sacred. Your kingdom is come. Your will is throughout the earth, even as it is throughout the universe. You give us our needful bread from day to day, and you forgive our offenses, even as we forgive our offenders. And you let us not enter into materialism, but you separate us from error, because yours is the song, the power, and the song, and the praise from all ages, throughout all ages, sealed in faith, trust, and truth. Each of us is the light and love of God, spiritual beings having a human experience. You are God's beloved, and we embrace you today. Thank you.
When everything changes, I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes, and I can change too. Used to be when things got crazy, I'd get to feeling low. But I know that I can't let that faze me. Honey, now I know. When everything changes, I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes, and I can change too. Who expects the unexpected? Life sneaking up on you. And sometimes we all feel disconnected. What you gonna do? When everything changes, I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes, and I can change too. I played the guitar. Who's to say why it works this way? Well, it's kind of strange, but it's true. When everything changes, I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes, and I can change too. I can change anything. Turning the pages, everything's new. If life's little stages are teaching me anything, it's everything changes, and I can change too. Everything changes, and I can change too. Yes, everything changes, I can change too.
Thank you, Lucinda. I like the song. It's good for today. And your voice always brings things alive. We appreciate you. Imagine you're planning to travel by car to Miami Beach, Florida, and or Destin, which we're going next week. But you study the map, you mark the roads, and you begin that long journey. As the hours pass, the miles pass, you have the anticipation, and you're moving down the highway, and you see Miami, 1,000 miles. Miami, 500 miles. Finally, Miami, 50 miles. And then you see Miami, next exit. Oh, wow, at last you arrived. You enter the city, you pull off. You're expecting warm, sunny weather. You look around. It's snowing heavily. People are bundled in coats, got scarves on. There's ice covering everything. And you're saying, where did I go wrong? This doesn't look like Miami. So you look at the map. You study and you say, what's going on here? Why ain't I where I expected to be? How did I get here? In the process of living, there comes a time when we suddenly look around at where we are in our lives and it looks like nothing we expected. We mapped out where we wanted to go in our relationships, our work, our accomplishments. But instead, we find ourselves in places and circumstances that bear no resemblance to what we thought would happen. We feel like a stranger in a strange land, except the land is the life we're leading. My life didn't turn out the way I thought. We had a starting point where we had a blueprint and dreams that we hoped for. Get married, have kids, begin a career, start our own business, become financially independent, retire to a warm climate. We say to ourselves, I'll get my PhD, become a research scientist, and discover great cures. I will write that book, climb Mount Everest, travel the world. I will love and be loved deeply. We're busy working, living as best we can. Time passes, and a moment comes when we look around and find that rather than being on the beach in glorious sunshine, it's snowing. The career and family plans aren't what we thought would happen. Or perhaps we have indeed arrived exactly where we thought we wanted to go and find it's not what we anticipated at all. There's a beach and sunshine, but it's humid and crowded. The career we work so hard for is devoid of meaning. The relationships are passionless and missing the intimacy that we crave. Our possessions and accomplishments leave us unfulfilled. Like the traveler to Miami, we look at the map of our lives and wonder how we got here. How did we get so lost when we were so sure we were going in the right direction? Where's the happiness I was expecting? I feel like a stranger in my own life. These wake-up call moments are our opportunity to see things anew and to hold ourselves in a deeper, more soulful way. There is an elixir for this malady of feeling lost. It is the key of the soul, of spirit. Soulfulness has to do with our inner beingness, our prayer life, our conscious union with the divine. But it also has to do with just living a robust life, such as good food, great conversation, genuine friends, outrageous laughter, experiences that touch us and stay in our memory. Take a moment and remember a time in your life, an experience in your life, a time that actually went deeper than happiness. It was just a moment of pure joy. For me, it's been times like when a friend was telling me what our relationship or our friendship meant to him or her. Another time, camping with a friend and laughing so hard because we couldn't get the tent up. Or a time when I was climbing a mountain and I got up on the crest and I looked down in the valley and before me and saw the beauty of the world that's laying out there before us. Felt like I was on top of the world. Just that joy of being connected. These are matters of the heart. Fulfilling work, rewarding relationships, and a sense of well-being and all the gifts from the soul. The soul is the depth of us, the true inner life. And when we neglect it, don't court it, it shows itself through our discomfort and disturbances. Remember from Star Wars, there's a disturbance in the Force. Doesn't that accurately say it? We think we were in Miami, but it's snowing outside. We thought we'd be happy, but we're not. There's a disturbance in the Force. The soul craves our attention. And when it is not getting it, it shows itself in our issues, our complaints, such as emptiness, meaninglessness, depression, disillusionment, about marriage, family, relationships, yearning for personal fulfillment. There is a hunger for spirituality and a craving for that feeling of the rapture of just being alive. We yearn excessively for entertainment, power, security, material things, And we think we can find these things if we discover just the right relationship or the right job. But without a persistent courtship of the soul, of that spirit within us, whatever we find will be missing something. Because we are truly craving in each of these things a deeper experience. Plato referred to this activity as the craft of life. Socrates said it was service to the gods. The idea is to be profoundly connected in the heart to your life. Your activities, your work, relationships, your daily chores. And be connected to others. Your family, your friends, your community. We're all one together. Soulful living, true joy, isn't about problem solving. It's not about trying to live a life that's problem free. It is giving depth and value to ordinary life. I know of a woman, actually I heard of a woman, who was feeling so unfulfilled in her relationships, and she went to talk to a counselor about it, complaining that she has a terrible time with relationships because she becomes too dependent. She wanted to become less dependent. Well, the counselor started probing her about it and wanted to know what her views on dependency was. Asked her what was the difficulty about being dependent. She said, well, it made her feel powerless. She had always held this idea that being dependent was bad. Being independent was good. Therapist said, well, do you want to be connected to people? Learn from them, get close, rely on friendship, get advice from someone you trust or respect, be part of a community where people need each other, find intimacy. And she said, well, of course. And the therapist said, well, isn't that dependency? He invited her to look at her feelings about these areas, open up just a bit to a couple of people, and give more to it, more of herself. Then I talked to a man. He was so unhappy at his job. He'd been there for 25 years, needing just a little more time so he could be vested, and felt that he had to stick it out, just had to be there a few more years, make it through, hating it and planning for his escape. I asked him, indeed, really, if you're going to be there for a while, did you ever consider entering into the job more fully? The guy said, well, you mean I should go to the job as if my heart were in it? Well, if you're going to be there, the rest of you is already there. What would it hurt to give it a try? So I ran into him again a couple of 3 months later, and he said, well, his life had begun to change. He said, well, this stupid job, I've started kind of feeling more into it. My life started opening up, and I'm starting to find things I like living again. Starting to be more connected. I think we can all do that. Instead of complaining, living through the experience. What he said, he was finding a way through the experience, not around it. It's not about being it's about actually being fully present in life at hand. Think about the moments you've done that. Maybe at a Christmas party or a birthday party when you felt connected. I don't think it was about tearing the wrapping off a present, which is always fun, but I think it's more the atmosphere and the people you're with and just that community and the emotions that really bring out our joy, our happiness, the spirit of the moment. If you ever attended a funeral and you sprinkled dirt or holy water at the grave, that experience placed you deeply in the heart of life. You'll remember that moment and those feelings vividly for years. Simple gestures taking place on the surface of life can usher us into a soulful or spiritual, meaningful feelings. And it's this experience that renews our heart, lets us live consciously, and enriches our life. There was a fellow who went looking for a house. He'd been looking for months. He knew exactly what he wanted as far as size, as far as view. But he took no consideration about the feelings of the house for a home and anything connected with that. He hunted and he couldn't find it. He finally gave up and decided, well, he'd just start considering what he wanted in his life, about the love to be shared, the sense of peace and comfort. Then one day he was out taking a drive, not even house hunting, and found himself on some back roads and lost. He pulled over and stopped beside the road, got out looking at the map, trying to figure out where he was. And a woman drove up, saw him there looking perplexed, and said, well, can I help? And he said, well, trying to find my way back to somewhere I'm familiar with. She said, well, I'm a realtor. I'm on the way to some people's house, their home, so I can list it. If you'll follow me, I'll lead you back into the city where you can probably find where you're going. He said, well, he got in behind her and started following her, and he said he kind of felt some excitement building in him. Wasn't sure what it was, but he followed her back to where he knew what he was, but he kept following her. Followed her to that house, and he bought it. He realized later that he actually wasn't lost. Not at all that day. What he was finding his way. If we attend to the soul closely enough, changes take place in our experience that put things in order, that help us to find the way, our way. And we'll find that getting lost experience, that the disappointments or disillusionments can lead us into moments of inner clarity, outward demonstrations of how we need to live our life. We'll find that the whole journey, even those times we think we took some wrong turns, can take us to a more soulful, spiritual, richer life. I've had a few of those in my life. Probably more than I should, but got me here. As we shepherd our daily activities, letting ourselves be in the heart of life, the great shepherd guides us to greener pastures. God goes before us to make the crooked places straight. Or as John Keats said, I am certain nothing but the holiness of the heart's affections and the truth of the imagination. I was thinking about this talk a couple of days ago. I've still got more talk, but I thought with things the way they are, there was more I wanted to say. We look at life, what's going on around us. We see the war, all of the agony that those people are going through. People on both sides of that conflict that are being drug in. We see it affecting the rest of the world. It looks like they're saying there could be food shortages, oil prices going up, energy shortages, so many different aspects. Then we look in our own area. We see Uvalde, where all those kids were killed. Innocent little kids at the beginning of their life that have been stopped. We're going through, COVID, and they're saying, well, it could come back again. There's so many things we can look at that we react to with negative energy, and that's normal. when you see things like that, you're going to feel anger, hurt, resentment. That's normal. But then what we need to do in the physical sense is to do what we can to make a difference, to help make a change when we can, if we can, which is always good. But what's more important, as we get in to see this stuff going on, this energy, this negative activity, is not to buy into it. Not to allow it to be the driving force in our life. If we really want to make a difference, we do it through the heart, through spirit. We have a choice. When we get to Miami Beach, whether it's pleasant with the breeze and the sun or the snow, but that's in us to make that difference. If we want to raise up our world, it's in here. When you see it snowing, you see that negative activity, allow that little flame in here, that spirit, to burn, to bring you out of that snow by making your life better. You help to raise other people up to make a difference in their life. We're all in this together. So just let your light shine, your energy out. You've all met people that you walk into a room and they're just pleasant to be around. People are attracted to them. We all have that ability. Not all of us have the gift of gab, and that's fine. I don't. But we have the ability to let our truth out, to be that example for others, to make them feel better about themselves. That raises us and our world. You are an expression of God, each and every one of you. So just live your truth, and you will make a difference. So let's take that now into a time of meditation. So right where you are, just sit back, relax. Allow the chair to support you. Allow your eyes to close, and if you would, just allow my words to be your words. So let's take a deep breath. Slowly breathing in. Hold it for a moment. Slowly breathing out. And as we breathe in light, love, life, we feel that flowing out into our body. We feel that positive energy, that radiance. We feel love. Slowly breathing in, slowly breathing out. And we allow ourselves just to feel the peace and the joy of who we are. And if you would, just smile. Just a simple smile centers you and brings you that truth. You are love. So let's relax for a few moments in that love. Now, as we come back to this place, to this time, Just hold on to your truth. You are love. And so it is. Thank you.
I don't want good morning. All right. This is the time in our service when we have an opportunity to give back to the work of Spirit through our offerings and our tithes. We give in love and gratitude for our own prosperity in its many forms, which comes to us through God, our instant, constant, and abundant source. Will the ushers please come forward? I invite you to hold your offerings in your hand as we say our offertory blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all of the good I am and have, all of the good I give and receive, and I am grateful.
Shall we circle up? Whoops. And let's just take a moment now and look around this circle of all these glorious faces, and smiles, and some of them you wonder about, but anyway, please join me as we say our affirmation together. We affirm the continued growth and prosperity of Unity Spiritual Center of Waco, and we are grateful. And our prayer for protection: the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
Don.